exploiting compromised and cracked credentials remains one of the most effective strategies in an adversary's playbook. In this video, we'll demonstrate how the Picus Attack Path Validation can expose vulnerabilities in your environment, even if the assessment is interrupted or stopped. Let's start with the summary of the assessment. The summary section contains key information about the assessment. It displays the start time and duration, the number of actions involved, the initial computer, and whether offline password cracking was activated. As can be seen, the assessment was stopped by the user. The simulation overview provides a brief and concise description of the assessment. The assessment was started with the user Edna Helena on workstation. The simulation scope shows that the password cracking feature was also turned on. The discovery section of the summary shows all the information collected during the assessment. Throughout the assessment, Picus APV collected information about 172 users, 5 servers, 20 clients, 63 groups, 205 containers, and 14 group policy objects. Picus APV had also discovered that there is a parent-child relationship with the odin.valhalla.corp domain, and this relationship is bidirectional. The privilege escalation section shows that Picus APV had successfully exploited the modifiable service binary vulnerability to elevate privileges using an unprivileged account. After this process, the assessment was continued with NT authority system privileges on the Workstation 17 machine. In the Credential Access section, Picus APV provides information about credentials harvested during the assessment. In this example, the user named Myra Ashley was identified as a Kerberostable user, and Picus APV employed Kerberosting and password cracking techniques to extract the user's credentials. After a minute and a half, Picus APV successfully obtained Myra Ashley's clear text password. Additionally, Picus APV employed the LSAS process memory dumping technique to extract credentials from other systems in the domain and gathered password hashes for 18 users. Lastly, Picus APV exploited the LSA credential cache dumping technique and captured 11 users' MS cache hash from various systems. These captured hashes were then converted into clear text passwords using the offline password cracking feature. In the lateral movement section, Picus APV explains how it compromised other systems during the assessment. In this example, Picus APV made successful lateral movement attempts on 13 different systems. Since the administrator user in the Workstation 17 system and the administrator in the Workstation 21 system have the same password, Picus APV was able to move laterally between these systems successfully. If we examine these attempts, we can see that Picus APV retrieved the MS cache hash value for the Workstation admin user via the LSA credential cache dumping method in the Workstation 17 system. This hash value was used to access the Workstation 23 system after obtaining a clear text password using the password cracking feature. Using the same method, Picus APV was able to access 11 other systems via the Workstation admin's token. You can also see that Picus APV made unsuccessful access attempts to 87 different systems with the user Edna Helena. These findings clearly show that having the same user accounts on different systems makes lateral movement attacks easier for adversaries. In the Action Details section, Picus APV provides reference documents explaining critical actions taken during the assessment. In these documents, you can find detailed detection and mitigation methods for these actions. Let's take a look at the details of the LSAS process credential dumping method. You can find taxonomic details about this action in Technical Overview. In this document, Picus APV provides detailed information about how it executes LSAS credential dumping attacks, its impact on the compromised systems, and how security teams can mitigate these attacks effectively. Let's move to the Map tab of our assessment. Although this example assessment was stopped by the user before it can reach its objective, Picus APV was able to execute successful lateral movement attacks on many systems and create a detailed map of the assessment. Using its findings, Picus APV can provide valuable insights on improving Active Directory and endpoint. Our first finding shows that Picus APV had found 5 vulnerabilities in 3 different templates by enumerating Active Directory certificates. Our next finding shows that the user Myra Ashley is a curb-rostable user, and her password is a basic password. This vulnerability and weak password policy allowed Picus APV to crack the clear text password for a domain user. Picus APV had also discovered that an unprivileged user can elevate its privileges by exploiting modifiable service final service. Then, Picus APV abused this exposure and elevated the compromised user's privileges from low to high. With the elevated privileges, Picus APV was able to dump NT hash values from Workstation 17. Using the Security Accounts Manager database dumping techniques, Picus APV obtained the NT hash value of the administrator account. This action was critical for following steps to be successful. Using the previously obtained administrator credentials, Picus APV employed the parallel administrator privilege check over SMB action and found that there is a local administrator user on the Workstation 21 system. Due to reused accounts, Picus APV was able to move laterally from Workstation 17 to Workstation 21 using code execution over SMB protocol technique. From Workstation 21, Picus APV dumps ticket granting ticket issued for the administrator user and uses it to move laterally to other systems using the pass the ticket technique. This action allowed Picus APV to access Workstation 16 and Workstation 20 successfully. At this point, Picus APV collects as many credentials as possible from compromised systems to take over other systems. With each newly discovered credential has a potential to compromise a domain admin account. That's why Picus Advanced Decision Engine aims to compromise as many systems as possible. In the activity feed section on the left side, several credential dumping techniques are employed in the compromised systems. If you follow the map, you can see the results of the credential dumping actions performed on Workstation 16 and Workstation 20 systems. You can also see the results of the credential dumping actions performed on Workstation 23 and WKSTN 24 systems. Up until the user stopped the assessment, Picus APV was able to compromise 12 different encrypted credentials and crack 2 clear text password using its password cracking feature. The password cracking efforts for the remaining credentials were not completed due to user interruption. In this short demo, we purposefully stopped the assessment to show that even incomplete or failed assessment findings can provide valuable insights about your environment. So, what have we learned from this example assessment? In short, Picus APV discovered that the target system was vulnerable due to basic password usage, password reuse, credential reuse, vulnerable services. Picus APV was able to exploit these vulnerabilities to elevate its privileges and compromise multiple systems with the same users. That wraps up our demonstration. We hope this video has provided valuable insights into how attack path validation can effectively replicate real-world attack scenarios without harming your production environment. Stay safe and secure, and I will see you in the next video.